Thank you, Hopinson. Alright, hey folks, welcome back. A lot of crazy stuff going on. China getting flooded and fires at the same time, and we got Iceland going off as well. So let's just hop into our solar report here. Let me get that started in forward. All right. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's March 17th, 2024. Okay. Everybody take a nice deep breath there. And let's get into our show here. We've had an event there, a Halo event. You can see some activity going on down there. That's Earthbound. So, hello, everybody. Let me take a second here to greet everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come be here with our precious family and welcome everybody. Thank you, Gabe, for showing up again, dude. You're part of this family now, so you're not going anywhere. All right, now back to the show. Sorry, and everybody else as well. I love you all. All right, back to this though. First off, we have this event down below. You see this halo, partial halo, that is coming towards us. We'll go to the opening frame here, capture. Well, we don't need to go to the opening frame. We can kind of start right about here. Let me adjust. Okay. Now you can see the halo event coming out, but what I'm looking at is in the readings down here and over here. Do you see this little dark patch right here with like plasma on the backside? It's this little indentation right here with plasma on the backside of it. And if we get to right about, that's a good frame right there. Let's just go ahead and zoom in on this. All right. You can see here's our round object out front here, putting an indentation there. It looks like there might be a smaller second one right next to it. So it might be a 2-pack, a medium-sized one, and a little smaller one or whatever. Watch as we back it up there. And then go forward again. And there's the ghost image. Or possible, was that ghost image or another object? That looks to be something. secondary or something, because the instrument reacted to it right there. Or that could be another wave of plasma coming up from behind it and passing it. Either way, there's a lot going on there. A lot to see. And then this little guy trailing along right here as well. All right, let me get rid of the music playing in the background there. All right. So there's that event right there. And other than that, there wasn't much going on the sun besides that. But what I wanted to do, whoops, let's go a few more. Right about there, and then slide it over to the other side here if we can. And see if we can capture that frame. So you can see right here, it's got plasma on the back side of it here. Let me, like that right there, so you guys can see it a little bit as it moves on out. There's our secondary one right there. Okay, let me zoom back out here a little bit. And put this back into motion. Okay, so that was kind of what induced our filament eruption off of the sun. This thing passing by magnetically locks onto the sun, lifts a big filament off of it, and then rips the filament away after moving away from the sun, or moving outward away from it. So I'll let you look at that a couple more times right there. You can also see the flow going around them and stuff as well. And sometimes if we speed stuff up here, you can see it a little bit better. Here, let me get that like that. It's a little too fast. Let me just try one click slower. There we go. All right, so there's your activity on the sun. And then let's come on over to the solar ham here and zoom in on our GOES X-ray here. All right. Just tilted just a little bit better. There we go. Pretty bumpy day today. A little dropout from the data, same dropout from the data. Just pretend like those aren't there and look at it from like this vantage point. All right, so kind of a bumpy day. You just saw what we, endured today. And then already another M flare right here going into tomorrow. Would you guys like to see that? Well, whoops, wrong instrument. Stay right there. Come back over here. Let's see if we're going to get lucky enough and they've possibly updated data. And just reboot the whole thing. Seeds near real time and Beacon. That's what you're looking for. George Mason University. It's spaceweather.gmu.edu. Seeds near real time and space beacon. Just in case you were asking or wondering. So here we are, 318. And it's this event right here off to the side that's already starting, underway right there, that we were looking at. There's not much data. There's only 5 frames of it because it's still so fresh. But it's going to be coming off right here on this side right there. Okay, so now back to the report. All right, so we've come out of our little proton storm, so the proton level has dropped down to 5%. Meanwhile, our M flare potential is up to 30% now. You see how we've kind of come up off the sea floor from way over here. Now here we're up in the mid C's and having M flares instead of in the B range having C flares. It came up a notch right here. All right, so 5% on the M flares. That new one is a 3.5, or that was this one back here, this one's probably, well, let's go see. And click on this real quick if we get the other more detailed map there. Hello, Jimmy. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Maximum was an M1 right there. So the maximum that M flare right there was an M1. All right, so back out of that. The absorption event is ended, but we absorbed a lot of energy there, and now it kicked off Reykjavik. We were talking about that last night, so here we go. Now we've had an increase in the number of sunspots, but they're all just kind of alpha and beta right now. We do have this big one coming around the limb here. This one right here, 3614, this big monster coming around the limb now. So here we go again. All right. And it's kind of out of range a little bit right now. Well, let's just say it's going to keep getting closer and closer each moment. All right. So back to the report. Geomagnetic forecasts are predicting a G1 on the 20th. Okay. Look here at our KP. Is that showing up on the screen? Oh, there it goes. Okay, good. Must be a little delay. You can see this is all way down below 1. There is some kind of suppression event going on. All right. Magnetic grip or suppression event, probably because of our big object making its pass going by. Meanwhile, our auroras are really weak. Probably because that thing's robbing a lot of the energy, making everything kind of really quiet as it goes by. Anyways, let's pop this open. You see how faint they are? Rotate them up a little bit where it's a little barely there, a little bit over Canada. All right, so it's lightened up a lot, and so has the KP index, which is good. I'll take that all the time. The less energy we're absorbing, the better. All right. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you. All right. Anyways, let's keep going. I'm just taking a peek into the chat real quick. Sorry. All right. Once this pops up, we're going to open it up. Why is it not there now? I was just looking at it a little while ago. Because on this, it was showing the CME coming our way. All right. Try this again one more time. Open the tracker, please. Thank you. There we go. See what I was saying? So, not good. We got an impact coming. All right. It's not going to knock everything out. It's not world ending or whatever, but it's more energy we'll be absorbing that'll go down to the core and increase pressure from down below. Okay. Not the best, but at least it's not a big old X flare to the face. All right. So let's load this one up too, because I want you guys to note the time of impact that they're expecting. I guess that's good right there. Okay, this profile showing it going south, barely kind of scrambled type thing hitting us. All right, so it could be, it depends on its polarity too. It's magnetic polarity. So, but on this, it's kind of showing it going a little south, barely clipping us. I would much rather have that effect and nothing at all than the other one. But the time of impact that they're expecting is like right around the 22nd here, from the change from the 22nd to the going into the 23rd. All right, so that's our time frame expected for the impact on this one. And I tend to agree too. Well, wait a second. This thing came off today. It should be here by maybe the 20th. This seems a little late. Here at the 22nd. We'll see. Maybe they got some better speed readings or some readings of its velocity, at least better than I can see. But typically they take 3 days. So it came off here on the 17th. So it'd put it, a little bit after the 20th, I think, somewhere in that time frame. But we'll see. Okay. This isn't a perfect science. Helps when they got instrumentation in between the sun and us that they could, observe the impact way up here, time it from this satellite to the next one. And as soon as you get that time differential right there, you can tell how long it's going to be till it hits Earth. I mean, with preciseness, not a guess. But we don't have access to that. So let's just say around the whatever they're saying. All right. So here we go. Let's come back up now to this. Solar activity on Sunday has so far been at low levels, with numerous minor C flares detected around both newly assigned AR 3614 and 3615. In the northeast quadrant, AR 3614 continues to turn back into view and is the return of old 3590. This bad boy right here coming around the limb is old 3590, and that's the one that kicked off the X flare at us. So now it's gone around, and it's twice, I think it's been around now, and now it's 3614 now. All right, so it's old 3590 from the previous rotation. It appears to have decayed quite a bit while on the far side of the sun, but could still remain a threat for an isolated M flare. In the southeast, a new sunspot region is turning into view, and it may still be a growth phase. It was the source of mid-level M flares, this one down here, on Saturday, and will be monitored as the region moves further into view during the next 24 hours. So we got one in the northern quadrant and one in the southern quadrant, both rotating into our Earth direction now. The trajectories appear to be mostly south of the sun-Earth line. However, a weak Earth-directed component may pass our planet within 72 hours. That's what I say. Within 72 hours. All right. Region located just off the southeast limb produced the moderate 3.5. That was the other day. Okay, now that was when it was behind the limb. Now it's rotating around our direction. Okay, so that was yesterday's article. Let's move on here over to spaceweather.com and take care of this one as well. All right, geomagnetic storm watch, the G1, a CME hurled toward Earth earlier today. See the Canyon of Fire eruption below. So there's that while I read. Okay. The Canyon of Fire eruption below could graze our planet's magnetic field on March 20th. See, that's what I was saying. The timing is perfect for the equinox auroras at high latitudes. At this time of year, even a glancing blow from a CME can spark a geomagnetic storm, thanks to the springtime Russell McPherson effect. Actually, it's thanks to the sun doing its effect this time of the year. Anyways, the Canyon of Fire eruption is a large filament of magnetism stretching across the sun's southern hemisphere, erupted today, carving a canyon of fire in the sun's atmosphere. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory recorded the blast, which began around 2, on March 17th. St. Patrick's Day. Yay, big old blast. The sun had too much to drink and barfed. Blah! Sorry, that was terrible. Debris from the explosion produced a partial halo CME, which was recorded by SOHO coronagraphs. We saw a better scene than this one offers. So the NASA model of the storm could suggest it could strike Earth's magnetic field on the 20th, sparking high-latitude auroras, okay? Yeah. Now, to this. The crooked tail of Comet 12P. There's always something about this comet. It's spiraling. It's got a crooked tail. It's going to be showing up behind the eclipse. What is it now? Oh, it's the crooked tail of Comet 12P. Something's not right with the tail of Comet 12P Pons Brooks. Dang right, you could say that again. Something's not right. It's crooked. Barut, whatever, Praniskar captured the phenomena in this wide-angle shot. All right, they captured the galaxy in the back, but do you notice the kink in it? Bink. It's like it's been bent. So here, let's get positioned so you guys can look at it while can't really see it while I read, so we'll just kind of leave it there. Here's the comet with its dynamic tail above. The highest peak, Comet 12P was passing by the Andromeda Galaxy on March 13th when he took the photo. 12P, why is 12P tail bent? The researchers call it a disconnection event. That kind of sounds like what's going on in our society. A disconnection event caused by a CME or fast solar wind stream hitting the comet. One of the earliest recorded examples of this phenomenon occurred back in 2007. And let's take a peek at this because I want you to see what happens. And let's see if we can get some proper lighting. All right, you see that CME right there? Just kind of rip the tail of that thing off. All right, so we could see something possibly similar happen to this comet as it approaches the sun. Sometimes these comets, when they approach the sun, they induce CMEs off the sun that strike these comets. Sun reaches out to the comet as it's inbound and will send a CME its way. And sometimes it rips the tail off, and if it hits at a different angle, it can bend the tail. But you can see the solar wind. Look at the solar wind or the CME in this shot right there. You can see the white density come and rip that tail off. All right, so we might see something similar happen here again with this other comet with 12P, Pons Brooks, okay? So backing out of that, so back to this article ago, again, this stereo spacecraft captured that. That was Comet Encke. Comet Encke had its tail ripped off. I couldn't make this stuff up, man. This is just the beginning. Comet 12P is moving towards the sun for a close encounter. The comet is crossing Earth's orbit right now. Say again, what? The comet is crossing Earth's orbit right now. So it will be closer to the sun than we are for the next 4 weeks. All right. You wrap it up with we'll be closer than it is for the next 4 weeks. Oops, I got position 2, whatever happened there. The part I'm concerned is the comet just crossed Earth's orbit today. So the tail leaves debris. Where? In Earth's orbit. Right now. You gotta read these things kind of deep because they pass stuff off like it's, here's a bunch of truth and in lighter news. So, already having curvature of this thing already. It's spinning. We're getting curvature out of it. It's going to intersect. Whoa, where was that part with the sun? Oh, yeah. All right, let's get back to this part. This is just the beginning. Comet 12P is moving towards the sun for a close encounter on April 21st. The comet is crossing Earth's orbit right now, so it will be closer to the sun than we are for the next 4 weeks. CMEs will be hitting it harder than ever, increasing the odds of additional disconnection events. All right, so if you thought we were disconnected before, get ready for additional disconnection events. All right. Pretty cool shot. Moving on. Come on over to your Schumann. Whoops, and take that out of the way. I'll let you guys just kind of take a peek at that. You guys kind of know what to look for now. I'll point a few things out in a second here. I need to take a sip of water here. All right. Our 7.83, the green line going across, has been intense, very weak, intense, weak, intense. It's been a roller coaster of a week here. So if you felt like your emotions and your body's been going through a roller coaster ride, or you've been in the washing machine getting tossed around, something, this is why. When those vents get absorbed down to the core and the shell grind on each other, it causes our magnetic field. That dynamo, when they grind, the dynamo gets weak. All right. When they grind, they also put out intense frequency, even at low frequency. All right. This is 0 up at the top. So we're talking 1 and 2 and 3, all the way to 7.83. So these are very low frequencies. Okay. But they're intense because down below, that's happening. Those waves emanate up from the core, up through the magma, and when they hit the crust, the crust is denser than the magma, or it's more dense than the magma, and the radio waves slow down. All right, that makes them the lower frequency waves. So everything like probably from this line right here and down is the magma, the faster wavelengths. Then it hits the crust and slows down, and we get our slower wavelengths coming through. These emanate from the surface, go up away from the earth, bounce off the ionosphere, and come back down as an echo. And that's what this instrument does, is it detects the echoes that are bouncing off, coming back down, indicating our resonance, the frequency at which this magnetic field resonates at. All right. So 7.83 is the line going across. We want continuity. We want just one nice smooth green line, not a bunch of intensity and weakening, grinding events, and then weakening afterwards. It comes back to recover just to have another event. And then it recovers just to have another event. We coming out of it. We're pretty stable right now, but we got that next wave coming in from the sun. All right. Now, when it hits, it won't affect this right away. It takes a day or two. Sometimes lately it's been taking a lot less time because the boundary between the core and the shell is so narrow now that any little hiccup from the sun causes those two to react, all right, and do this. So this is a sign of pressure down below. It built up. We were grinding. We had earthquakes and volcanoes. It relieved, but then the magnetic field got weak. We had another event. It got weak. All right, so you can see this pulsing type activity of our magnetic field, and it affects you, it affects your animals, it affects your body. 7.83, everything relies on that. All right, so right now we just came out of a small little grinding event, not too much, but this is an indication that pressure down below is back up to high levels again. All right, because it's grinding. Let's come back over here now and get to, oh man. Do you see the ram face here? There's eyes and nose, the curled horn, and another curled horn. Maybe it was like an hour ago. I'll go back an hour. It was nuts. Where's 1 hour? Yeah. There it is. You can see the nostrils, the nose, the eyes, the horns. It looked like a ram. What's going on? got some very wavy lines going on in here. Trying to get rid of them wavy lines. They bug me. All right, there we go. Now let's go back to current conditions. So 1, 2, and put the wind back on. And let's do our report here. So let's leave it like this and let the winds file in here. Here's our main vortex right here, but the sub-vortex is stronger, all right, coming off of it. It's created a third vortex down here. So we have 1, 2, 3 in a row. 3 vortexes in a row now instead of right next to each other or whatever. So it keeps changing dynamically every day, every moment, every hour. You saw I just went 2 hours back and how different it looked then. All right, so there's your ram face right over the Atlantic. I'm gonna put the motion back in. Now look over here. We got another sub-vortex going here, created another sub-vortex going on here. Our conveyor belt system has been all pulled, warped, twisted, and we got 5 vortexes going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. God is amazing. His handiwork, you can tell. All right, now this new vortex right here, because it's connecting, all right? I consider when it comes, loops all the way around for a full circle of vortex, all right? If it branched off and stopped right here, it wouldn't be complete, but it's connected. We have, look at this, coming off the Atlantic, or coming off the U.S. into the Atlantic is a smaller vortex and another sub-vortex over like the Bermuda Triangle. What was that? Oh, good. I thought I heard you. Oh, what's the pink? Hot air? No, the pink is the velocity of the wind. We're on air and these wind patterns. All right. So see this color chart over here? That denotes the velocity of the wind. All right. So there's a polar vortex up here. And when these 2 vortexes collide together, their combined winds make a corridor of intense wind way up there. And then that translates down lower to the transition layer. Okay, so we've kind of taken a peek. We've seen all our vortexes here. All right, now a totally different effect. Now the fire hose, is emitting down through the middle of the country. It's reached back down. It's not all the way to Southern California, but it's like splitting right at my house here. And the rest is going north, and you see how it loops back around here and is hooking back up? There's just this one little spot right here where it's not. We got flow here, and then it reaches out and wraps back around back into our central flow. So angel wings, that was a beautiful question. Awesome question, because that needs to be grasped and understood so we don't have any misunderstandings when we're reporting on this. It's not hot air, it's fast air. So awesome question, because a lot of instruments denote stuff in temperature through color as well. So, but on this chart here, it denotes the wind speeds. So now we're going to go down through our layers. All right. I got this set up right there. That's your polar vortex layer. That's the highest up by the troposphere up there. Okay. Now we're starting to come through down to these lower layers. You see how the flow going this way has caused this to dam up. All right. You see this flow from the upper vortex going that direction. The layer just underneath it is trying to fight it, and it creates this dome effect where the flow goes down or over it. Okay, so you can see the translation of how that affects the layer of air underneath, and it forces this stuff take this box down. It forces this stuff to curl up like that and drop down below and leave a patch of like low pressure right there. Or, a ridge, we'll say. Now, with that ridge being built right there in the transition layer, it affects the jet streams like this. Now, it's hard to see the correlation a little bit, but that's how it affects our upper jet. Now, look at this upper jet right here. This cut right here is amazing. I don't know. It actually connected here. Before it was a solid line. It's actually starting to connect right here. So before it was this big solid line that came out of this and totally had all this going down and around. Now it's pinching off. Some it's going this way. The rest is coming around and hopping in there. But look at this flow over the West Coast. It's coming in off the Pacific, going up and coming back from the east back this way off the West Coast. When it comes off the West Coast, it circles back right around and goes back into Mexico. All right, so we got some crazy jet stream going on. And you see the main part is the southern jet, and this little other one has branched off to the north. Well, when we get down to our lower jet stream, you see the correlation? That one's easy. But most of the energy is up here. This southern one isn't as intense. It's wide and broad, but it isn't as intense. We're up here, we have a more intense flow. It's cold air coming out of the Arctic here, coming down below the Great Lakes, mixing with warm, moist air. Let me get the box out of the way. Mixing with warm, moist air coming up through here. And when these two air masses slam together, we get our severe weather. All right, this also directs our storms. You can see these ridges that have grown back here. So let me pop it like this and then take you down a couple another layer down to the storms. Okay, and we've had that little storm that moved through here. And now look what's lined up out here in the Pacific. Another set of eyes. Are you shitting me? Does that thing have horns? And a nose? All right. Anyways, we got a couple of storms out here in the ocean. God, I can't even look at this stuff anymore. A couple of these storms out here in the ocean are moving in. All right. And now when this big object and the small one move through, the small one has a really strong magnetic field. It actually produces quite a kick, like the Nibiru one. And the bigger one, even though it's super dense and big, it's like, I don't know, it has a different effect. But usually when these things pass, we have two vortexes on the planet that are very intense. Somewhere on the planet, when they pass, we have two intense storms that are just way out of character for the season. And it might be these two right here coming up because I see the way they're lined up. And it's a spiritual event also that happens. So doesn't surprise me to see what you see here. Wow. Getting crazy. All right, so let's focus, Brian. Where are we? Oh, okay. Let's switch on over to our particulates and check out our sandstorms now, because I have a feeling they may be kicking up as well. Look at this thing with the sand still. That's crazy. All right, let's get on over. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Hang on just a second. My chat just reloaded and I'm catching up to the comments. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Hopefully it's all caught up now. All right, back to business. Sorry, I have to get distracted sometimes. The area of white denotes the intensity. So let's just do this real quick. You see our graph over here, black being hardly any, blue, green being medium. We're getting into yellow is intense, and white being the most intense on the chart, right? So you know what your coloration is. That way you can understand it better. Okay. Huge plume. I left the winds on here too, so you can see the wind directions, how they are taking this sand, these storms that are intense, plus the sand is getting a static charge to it because of the inbound objects, right? Making it lighter. It wants to actually repel from the ground. If you've ever had well, my grandma used to have these little boxes with little plastic confetti in them. And if you rubbed the box, static electricity would build up on the plastic box and the little confetti would dance inside the box. But they danced. They lifted up off the ground and the confetti danced because of the static charge on it. And that's what's lifting this sand up is a static charge. The wind gets a hold of it and it's on. Just like a fire, the wind gets a hold of it and it just kicks it up even more. So huge difference from last night. This is a giant sandstorm right there going on again. It fired back up. We still got intensity over here in Saudi Arabia as well. Look at what's going on up here by this event going on by the Black Sea that we saw last night, as well as our Gobi Desert has totally intensified right back up to white again. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and a major 4 sandstorms going on right now, and we're not in spring yet. We are getting close, but we are not there yet. We are still in winter, having multiple sandstorms. This one lasted multiple months. They don't even last that long in the summertime. What's going to happen this summer when, what, is all of Africa going to go airborne? Going to have sand all the way around the world? All right, so as we continue, you see your sandstorms going on. No one's reporting on it, but I will continue. I'm like a pit bull. When I grab a hold of something, I do not let go. Like lockjaw. I got lockjaw so bad I bit out all my teeth. Imagine that. From grinding my teeth and... Never mind. Let's move on. Get to the chemicals. SO2. As you can see, here is America, a country divided still. Whew. Nice and clear on this side, or clearing up on this side, individual patches, but still kind of dark over on this side. All right, so now we're going to go around the world and look at our pressure. It looks like it's kind of increased because I see a little darkening here in America compared to last night. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Nice, full, dark patch. It reached back up into this region up here again. All right. So pressure has built. In fact, those fires that you saw in China. Put the wind on. Oh. So when this gas comes out of the ground, okay, it's the gas that surrounds the magma down below. So when it emanates from the ground, it's not exactly cold. In fact, it's very hot and can spark fires. Where do you think all your fires have been coming from? It's not from dew weapons in space. They want you, they're fine with you thinking that. No, as long as you don't know it's being caused from underground. Because if you knew that your fires were being caused from underground and there was nothing you could do about it, you would probably come to my channel. And as we look around, it has darkened all over, really. All right, let's go down to Java. Okay, it's looking pretty solid purple. Let's even take the wind, put it on there, make sure it's just channeling it. Good. All right. Increase in pressure in here too, because when I put the wind on there, all this stuff coming off the coast is what the wind's dragging off. We have a darker spot here. It darkened up in this region. It was just up here before and just pluming down. We got more pressure here in Java. So pressure's on the rise. We're going to see more earthquakes. We're going to see more volcanoes, maybe new ones coming to life here because of this increase in pressure. And well, we just saw Recahenus, all right? So that's right there, one of the indicators. All right, let me back on out of this. Should we do it real quick? Okay. I don't do this all the time, but we're going to go into just a couple other little things here real quick. All right, SO2. Let's go check out CO2. You know that nasty old chemical CO2. Mom, give me the CO2. Yeah, maybe they... Oh, wait a second. Look at this, you guys. They won't produce the CO2 report anymore. Because you remember what I was pointing out? Where it was coming from? Okay, now CO2. Ah, CO? All right. I guess we'll just go to the other one. This is SO4. All right. We were looking at SO2, which is sulfur dioxide. This has 2 more oxygen atoms per molecule. It's sulfur quad oxide, or SO4. All right. This chemical comes from the... Where did it go? There we go. This chemical comes from the volcanoes as well as man-made, but that's not what we're here for, because SO4 bonds with water, which is H2O. And when those two elements bond together, they form a compound called H2OSO4, which is better known as sulfuric acid. And all this sulfur in the air is going to mix with the water and create sulfuric acid in our atmosphere, in our oceans, with any kind of water. And of course, on this, white denotes the intensity. Okay, and it's spreading all over the world now. It used to be just mainly the northern hemisphere, but you see green down here. That's still the same gas. It wasn't here at Antarctica, but now there's traces of it there as well. Okay. Runaway freight train here. All this is going to bond with, not all of it, but a lot of it bonds with water and makes our water acidic. Okay, sulfuric acid. All right, let's move away from that, though. All right, I want that dang... Come back here. I want this CO2. Yeah. All right, so pretend we have that same colored map here, and it was this region here in America that was like the very light color yellow. Is my camera picking up this color? No, it appears to be. We got brown denoting none, this area denoting yellow, and then very bright blue. Well, there was no bright blue coming out of America, but all the bright blue was from China, Japan, Korea. They're the culprits that produce all the CO2. We saw it before. And now all of a sudden, when I want to report on it again, we can get that chemical. We can get this one too, I bet. Oh, yeah, we can get that one, but not this one. Gee, why would you want to hide that? Maybe because what I told you was true. CO2 is plant food. The plants eat it. In some of these jungles, they're really dense. It was brown. The region is brown. That means there's no CO2 or hardly CO2 there. There's very low concentrations of it because all the plants are eating it. And that's what I wanted to point out on this map was who the guilty culprits were and how this system works. But apparently, I guess they don't want you knowing that right now. So I am going to do this. I'm going to make all of that region right there blue. Okay, since they won't tell you, I will tell you. And you see that coloration on the map. All of them, they're all the culprits. They can pay for the global warming tax. If it's CO2 that's causing the warming, let them pay. They're the biggest producers. They're the ones that don't filter their emissions. We have coal-fired power plants that barely emit anything because of the scrubbers and filters we put in. But no, these guys can go pollute all they want. It looks kind of like this here. We can use SO4. Okay, that's pollution right there. See the culprit? See how intense white it is all over China? Because they pollute so much. They're the culprit. Where's that big old intense white patch here in America? Yeah, because it's not us. All our emissions are clean. So, even though you take your chemical away, I'm still going to put you on blast because it doesn't mean you get to hide. You're still responsible for polluting this planet. And they're being, you see the ramifications. You saw the flooding, you saw the hail, and you saw the country on fire. And this is only springtime. We haven't even reached spring yet. All right, so moving on. We done now, Lord? Okay, good. No, I wanted the earthquake report. It looks like it got missing. All right, well, while we're here and we do have this one working, I will take this anytime it's working. So let's just get into volcano and then we'll skip to earthquake after that. So this is where they're expecting the lava flow to eventually hit the sea. All right. So it's going to divert around the town, bang, hit the sea. You can come over and check out this map, but Reykjanes is going off. All right. We're talking about the pressure down below building, how this was right on the verge, how any little mouse fart off of the sun or burp could cause this thing to go because lava's right at the surface. So it blew. All right. It did the big curtain effect. Some of those are like 250 meters to 300 meters high. Some of the fountains. Or no, wait. Southern flow lava has been less than 250 meters to cut. All right. No, I'm thinking 30 meters. Some of those fountains are like 90 feet, 100 feet tall. Okay. And it's 250 meters long or whatever. All right, so Marapi, 14,000 feet. Ducono, 7,000 feet. Fuego, still going off, all right? Reventador, 15,000 feet. Sabancaya so high it was unable to detect. And that was already the 18th, so let's get into the 17th. Okay. Come on, please. There we go. So the activity at the eruption site continues at reduced levels over the past few hours. The constant spattering generates molten lava fragments and emissions. Incandescent lava. Fusion eruptions resume. Fissure vents continue to feed two lava arms flowing in the western direction. New hazard assessment map. New effusion eruption. All right. So, Reykjanes, lots going on there. All right, Suonosejima, 5,000 feet. Ibu, discrete eruption, 14,000 feet. Yeah, 14,000 feet's just a discrete. That's a pretty discrete eruption. up to 14,000 feet. Okay. Ducono, 9,000 feet. Here's Fernandina in the Galapagos here with the lava arms. Eruption continues according to latest Sentinel-2 satellite images. Acquired on the 16th, a cluster of several vents feeds the lava, which continues to keep the flow active on the southern flank. So the lava flow has increased in length, currently about 8.9, slowly travels towards the shoreline. Once the lava interacts with the water, it does so explosively. We all know that. Okay. Popocatépetl, probably 21, 22, something like that. Santa Guido, probably in the 20s somewhere. Fuego, here's 15. Nevada, Del Ruiz, no, VA. See, a lot of these aren't given their heights right now, probably because they're way up there. There's increase in pressure and stuff. Here's your list right here. Nothing really new has changed except for Recahenus going on the active list. Okay, any of these could possibly go too on this yellow list. That right now goes back over here. See, they keep doing that. And I'm going to keep calling them on it too. Every time that we have a volcano that is erupting and it happens to be their headline, and they got all the pictures and all the articles on it, and then they put it over here on this list. All right, that student got a D on their report. Anyways, that should be over on the other list. And we'll watch Nevada Del Ruiz. We saw that one. Should be over on this list. Watch out for Etna going off, or Cotopaxi too. All right, so that's it. Now let's get earthquake page pulled up. Get that one out of there. And okay. There we go. All right, get her set up. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Move on in. So here's our deep quake for the day right here. 4.4 down at 553. Okay, let's just take a peek. Nothing down that way. Okay, good. So 4.4, our mid-range 4 quake that we're kind of used to seeing. Okay, so normal kind of activity. We did have an increase in pressure down there. We had a calm period, like the magnetic grip event, but it seems to have kind of stopped now. And now we're having our deep quake, mid-range 4, like normal activity, which usually leaves 5s at the surface. Here's a 5.4 at the surface. Here's a 5.1 down at 94. So energy traveling up through the system. Note this area has been very quiet lately. All right, it usually starts around this region. Okay, this time it did split. Last time it went all the way up here. We didn't really get much activity. So let's get into these little guys. That's a 4.5 right there down at 263. All right, hang on just a second here. I got this one too. This is also a mid-range 4 down at a depth of 46. Note the location. The island of Java has multiple volcanoes going off, increased pressure, increased heights, and now an earthquake right next to it. This has been our little relief valve area for a while. And 4.5, that shows a little bit of pressure in the region being relieved. Okay, now let's get on over here. Let's go up this system here. 4.8 down at 120. This is just south of our weak spot that was right up here off of this island. So we got a little weaker area down here. 4.8 down at 120. and a 4.5 down at 104. So these aren't surface quakes. These are just inside this plate. Here's the boundary between the two plates. It's just inside right here. It's going to be just kind of looking around to see if there's like a seamount or an island or a volcano somewhere nearby that might be indications of something possibly getting ready to erupt. There might be underwater eruptions in this area as well, because there is a lot of underwater activity going on. All right, so there's those two. Now, coming up over this side of the, last time we had a fulcrum point quake here at Taiwan. Now we got energy going up this side of the bridge, or this side of the plate, with a 4.9 at a depth of 10 and a 4.7. So a 5 and a mid-range 4 right there. A little bit inside there's a 4.4. That's down at 259. It's down in between these ridges, deeper down in there. So mid-range 4, about a third of the way down there. Also coming up here, look at this. This is a 4.0, but it's down at 502. So we've had a deep quake just south of Japan here at 4. So that would cause like a 5 at the surface probably. There's a 4.5 down at 52 and a 4.2 down at 52. I want timestamps now. 1551. That one was before it, as well as that. These two quakes were before this deeper quake. So surface energy running along the plate boundary snapped off here and then backed up and popped off a deep one down there. Here we go up here with some earthquake activity finally. We haven't had much in this region in a while. It used to be very active and went quiet because of all the volcanic activity. All the volcanic activity up there on Kamchatka. 4.8 down at 10, and then this one is a 4.1 down at 117. So we've had a little release of energy there. Let's see, this one's on the other plate. So 4.1 down a little deeper, and it caused this little 4.8 here at the surface. Nothing like kind of coming over. 3.7 energy there. Very quiet coming down. We did have a fulcrum. 3.9. What do we do with 9s around here? So we had probably a little 4 right here. 2.5. Yeah, pretty small. One thing I want to do here at California is switch over to all magnitude real quick. Check our swarming, because we do have our little swarming going on here at the get rid of this, at the geysers. And then we got a new little spot going on up here. It's only 2.3 and a 2.5, but recent activity. That one just happened. All right, so we have some recent activity. A new little spot opening up. You see this ridge lines right here. You see all those pressure ridges that built up right through here. And then we got this forming right out there. Another little spot right here. Is this a dam? No, but yeah, excuse me. All right, let's get out of there. Bunch of little small quakes down there. We can go back to all regular magnitude now. And let me pull back here. Little mouse farts out there. Another too big. 4.3 down at 62. Very quiet in South America. So the suppression event has made it kind of quiet around here. 4.7 down at 10. All right, so most of our activity kind of in this region. Let's go over here real quick. We have a 4.0 here in China, and there's more going on under there. So two 4.0s here in China. And that's a little further off the fulcrum point. That's more out in this lake area. I see all these lakes. Just off the cusp of it right there. All right. So China had a couple of 4s there. Here's a fulcrum point, 4.1. Nothing hiding underneath it. Okay. Sometimes, usually there's 2 right around there, but 4.1 for the day. And then over here, 4.9 in Iran. What do you do with 9s around here? That's right. Give him a 5. Give him 5. All right. Up high. Now down low. Oh, too slow. Iceland, 4.7. Okay, so the volcano went off, plus we've had a healthy little earthquake here. Let me all magnitude this one real quick and see if we can get anything more than just the 4.7. Strange, because there's probably thousands of quakes going off here, yet they will have the guts to report the 4.7 that happened here, probably because you couldn't hide that one. All right, so there is our earthquake report. Mid-Atlantic Ridge, 4.7. All right, so actually, we had a little pickup of activity in here. So there is this suppression event over here. We always have something around here, but pretty quiet in this region right now. It seems like maybe pressure's coming up. It already fired off here. It's firing off here, now starting to work its way down. Maybe we'll see something down in this region here pretty soon. All right, that's it for that. Let's get over. Ooh, excuse me. Been a long 30 days. And we're not done yet. All right, so there's your, I'll get that loop started. You can see play line, timestamps. Let that play for a second there. Like, a lot changed. So, and will continue to change. Okay, especially with the passage of us, of these objects when we interact with their magnetic fields, depending on what angle of attack, how far away. It really depends on so many factors now that they can't put into this program to give us, well, it's unpredictable now. But as far as we can get, let's go. Current conditions, nighttime of the 17th. Happy hangover day, morning of the 18th. Noon, convection, nighttime. Whoa. Yeah, morning of the 19th. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 20th. Noon, convection, nighttime. Pretty clear for like the next 3 days. Morning of the 21st. Noon, convection, nighttime. Ooh, stays out in the Gulf. Morning of the 22nd. So making landfall possibly on the morning of the 22nd on the west coast of Florida. Another little system moving in here. It'll be the noon time of the 22nd. Still severe weather down there. Convection. Looks like it's splitting south and heading offshore there. Meanwhile, the convection 22nd, nighttime, morning of the 23rd. Dude, that just wrapped back up and come back on shore. So convection of the 22nd, morning of the 23rd, or no, nighttime of the 22nd. This thing wraps back up and heads back to land. At the nighttime of the 22nd, going into the morning of the 23rd, just scraping the coast right there. The noon time of the 23rd, convection, barely cutting back into land there again by the nighttime of the 23rd. There's morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 25th, you see this thing coming together here, since right there. So since the noon of the 24th, this big storm starts to form here and move in through the nighttime of the 24th, morning of the 25th, severe in the middle there, dissipating by noon, kind of. There's convection, the tail firing up, even into the nighttime, nocturnal, with bands of ice in between. That'll be the morning of the 26th, noon. All right, QLCS is forming there, kind of. Convection of the 26th, nighttime, morning of the 27th, noon, convection. Wow, look at the convection of 27 right there. Nighttime, still nocturnal thunderstorms. Morning activity up here in Ohio, possibly on the 28th. Now, this is pretty far out, so I'm not going to get too detailed into this. We're just going to keep going through this because that'll all change that far out. All right, here we are at the morning or convection of the 29th, nighttime, morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of 31st, noon, convection, nighttime. Wow. Morning of the 1st, April Fool's Day, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 2nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Wow, look how big, widespread that storm is right there. I'll pray that doesn't happen. All right. All right, let me put this back into motion here. I want to read a couple of things real quick here in the chat, just to myself. Okay, good. Oh, cool. All right, now let's get on to the spiritual part here. I had to get rid of this instrument and this one and this one and this one. So all kinds of crazy spiritual events happened. The sky disappeared. Oh, disappeared behind some smoke there. And that was in China. This is the volcano in Iceland. This was, we'll just go to that one. Disasters in China, the fires that broke out in China now. They're going to be having their hands full here soon. Let's just, no. We'll do that one now. A little change up here. Where to go? There it is. Pull up this image every once in a while, too, because I like this one. After the ad, of course. Come on. You don't need to build a business? Oh. Okay, let's see if we can get this pulled up just right again. All right, I'm pointing to his heart right there. Is it coming in pretty good? It looks like it's going to get more snow. Yeah, it does. All right. Yeah, I started early, Surfer Girl. I do on like Saturdays and Sundays sometimes when Marf's not on. I try to come on a little earlier for you guys because I can feel you out there going, hurry up, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. And sometimes I can't wait to be with you guys either, so I like to go early sometimes. All right, perfect. It's blurring out my face a little bit and showing him. All right, perfect. Unfortunately, my face is showing up in the sky with a crown and all kinds of crazy stuff being projected by Jesus's heart. Okay. A lot of these images that you're seeing in the clouds, well, who do you think's making them? It ain't harp, it's heart. Clips being on the crew. Oh, cool, you guys were good. All right, now let me get my light set up here. I got lots of good stuff for you guys to read tonight, so everybody take a couple of deep breaths while I get into some of this. Oh, the title tonight, Good Luck or God Look. There is no such thing as luck, all right? You're kind of destined, but the term good luck, I think it's more like God looking over you. That's why you're fortunate, because it's God look, not good luck. Get it? Kind of? All right, never mind. My corny sense of humor. All right. Where was I tonight? Oh, yes. Okay, I picked out some stuff for you guys tonight, so I didn't do my deep breath, so hang on. Okay. I am with you and all around you, encircling you in golden rays of light. I always behold you face to face. Not one of your thoughts escapes my notice. Because I am infinite, I am able to love you as if you and I were the only ones in the universe. Okay? I'm able to love you as if you and I were the only ones in the universe. Walk with me in intimate love steps, but do not lose sight of my majesty. I desire to be your closest friend, yet I am also your sovereign Lord. I created your brain with the capacity to know me as friend and Lord simultaneously. The human mind is the pinnacle of my creation, but so few use it for its primary purpose. It ain't texting and cell phones, all right? Few people use their brain for its primary purpose, which is knowing me. I communicate continually through my spirit, my word, and my creation. Only humans are capable of receiving me and responding to my presence. You are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made. I am perpetually with you, taking care of you. That is the most important fact of your existence. I am not limited by time or space. My presence with you is a forever promise. You need not fear the future, for I am already there. When you make that quantum leap into eternity, you will find me awaiting you in heaven. Your future is in my hands. I release it to you one day at a time, day by day, moment by moment. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow. I want you to live in this day. I want you to live in this day abundantly, seeing all there is to see, doing all there is to do. Don't be distracted by your future concerns. I know everybody's future tripping right now. That's why I'm reading this stuff to you. Okay? Do not be distracted by future concerns. I want you to live each day abundantly, seeing all there is to see and doing all there is to do. Don't be distracted by future concerns. Leave them to me. Each day of your life is a glorious gift, but so few people know how to live within the confines of that day. Much of their energy for abundant living spills over into the timeline, into tomorrow's worries or past regrets. Okay, whoops. So we're left off. No, jump over to this now. Okay, I want you to live abundantly. Each day is a glorious gift, but few people know how to live within the confines of the day. They're too busy tripping about the future and the past. Their remaining energy is sufficient only for limping through the day and not for living it to the full. I am training you to keep your focus on my presence in the present, like right now. This is how to receive abundant life, which flows freely from my throne of grace. Okay? I want you to live each day abundantly. Now that you know this is true, now that you know that this is going on and you know where you're headed and stuff, doesn't each day seem to be more rich and full? Aren't you living more abundantly, seeing all there is to see now? Aren't you out there kind of doing all there is to do? You're not so distracted by future concerns. You've learned to leave them to me. Because now each day of your life is now a glorious gift. But so few people get that gift because they just live in the confines of today. I'm trying, Lord. I'm trying. I said a prayer tonight. Open their ears and their hearts, Lord. Open their ears and their hearts. Oh, okay. I got more. Hang on. All right. Yeah. Glory in my holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek me rejoice. To glory in something is to give it praise or honor. Jesus is the name that is above every name. It represents me in all my sinless perfection. As my follower, you can whisper, speak, or sing my name with confidence that I am listening. This draws you closer to me and helps you find strength in my presence. It also serves to drive away your spiritual enemies. I delighted that you take time to seek me, desiring to know me. Come freely into my loving presence, letting your heart rejoice in me. Remember that you are on holy ground and breathe in the rarefied air of my holiness. Release cares and concerns while you rest in the splendor of my glory, letting my joyous presence envelop you, permeating you through and through. As you delight in my nearness, time seems to slow down, enhancing your enjoyment of me. Thank me for these moments of sweet intimacy. If it is good to proclaim my love, it is good to proclaim my love in the morning and my faithfulness at night. Proclaiming this love is exceedingly good for you. When you declare the wonders of my loving presence, you are strengthened and encouraged. Do you understand how that works? It's not about me. When you declare the wonders of my loving presence, you are the one who is strengthened and encouraged. This glorious blessing flows into you more fully as you speak these words out loud. Let this delightful declaration fill you with joy inexpressible and full of glory. Ponder some of the qualities of my amazing love. It is sacrificial, unfailing, priceless, boundless, reaching to the heavens. It shines so brightly that it can carry you through your darkest days. When you get to the end of each day, it is time to proclaim my faithfulness that reaches to the skies. Look back over each day and notice how I helped you navigate your way through it. The more difficulties you encounter, the more help I make available to you. It is good to give voice to my great faithfulness, especially at night, so that you can lie down and sleep in peace. How you guys been sleeping lately? A lot more peacefully? A lot less stress in your life? Those guys, you folks that joined us for the exercise the other day, how'd you sleep that night? Pretty peacefully? Let me just tell you something. You guys are sleeping a lot more peacefully than a lot of other people are on this planet. Okay? There are some restless souls right about now that are, well, they don't have this. You see how important this is now? You guys do. And it's amazing. I'm so thankful for my family. Oh, yeah. So I had an interesting encounter today. My son wanted to get a goldfish from the pet store, and he's a young man now. He's almost 18. He's 17 and 11/12. He's almost 18. He's looks like a man more than a kid. And he went to the pet store to buy a goldfish, and they wouldn't sell it to him unless he had a 50-gallon tank. And I was like, what? A goldfish? You need a 50-gallon tank for a goldfish? Kind of sounds like a salesman's trying to, upsell or something. Anyways, he's like, well, there's this one that I want. She won't give it to me. Will you go down there and take care of it, Dad? Because I perform miracles sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you. I can do that. So we go down to PetSmart, and I walk in there, and he had described this lady who had denied him buying a goldfish. Despite what you want to do with it, I mean, it could be food. It could be a feeder fish for bigger fish, saltwater tank or something like that. You don't necessarily need a tank for feeder fish. But anyways, I go in there, and he describes this little fish to me. He goes, oh, it's over in this area in this tank or whatever. I go over, I find the tank, and sure enough, I find the little fish, and he's this little tiny guy. The little goldfish that have the bubble eyes? Well, this one's a little tiny black one. All right. And he's just the smallest little thing in this giant tank, and all the other fish are big and harassing him and chasing him, and he's hiding down in the corner and stuff. And now I know why my son wanted that fish. He felt bad for that little fish, and he wanted to rescue it. Because I know my son well. And I'm like, yep, you wanted to rescue that little guy, I can tell. So I see the little fish, I make eye contact with it, and I tell him, hi, little guy, I love you. I'm here to rescue you. And that fish felt, when I said, I love you, that vibration came out of my heart, penetrated the tank, and that little fish responded. And the lady was, okay, what fish do you want or whatever? And he was trying to hide in the corner. And I said, well, it's going to be hard. He's hiding over in the corner. And she goes, no, he's here in the net. And that fish swam into the net on his own. I think he wanted to be part of our family because he swam into usually you got to chase the fish down, right? It's not easy either. That's why these people don't like doing that job. But this little guy swam right into the net, and now he's here with us. And it was a little later that I kind of peeked in, see what my son's doing, and here he is playing with the fish, just like when he was a kid. I saw that moment of when he was young, that joy of being a young kid again, and it made my heart warm and glow to see the love bond between a little cute little fish that we rescued and a young man, a teenage. I mean, he's almost done being 17. He's gonna be 18 and an adult here soon. And to see that sweet bond still of love between a small little creature and a man, where where is that bond for each other out there anymore? It just blows me away. All right, they've told me the same thing with the beta. Yeah. Oh, yeah. About the betas too. Their fish, their little betas. If they're so concerned about the health of the welfare of this fish, why do they leave all their betas in them small little cups? Yeah. So they don't make sense. I understand the lady's probably a animal rights activist or something like that, but interesting interesting story. Cute little fish. Maybe I'll get a picture of him and post him in the community. He's a cute little guy with the bubble eyes, and it just he brings joy and love. Everybody is having fun with our new little family member, and tapping on the glass, and he'll follow your finger, and we feed him, and we're just finding joy in God's creatures. They can be little friends as well. Yeah, I miss my fish and turtles. Had to give them up. Yeah, it's no fun giving up your friend. It's your buddy, right? Some of us are, that's your pal, is your pet, I am a dog guy. When I got married and had kids, I had a pit bull that was a fighting dog. And I had to get rid of my dog because I didn't want him latching onto a baby, right? So I did the responsible thing, got rid of my dog so I could, have kids safely. I know pit bulls are soft and can be, friendly too, but I didn't get to raise this dog from a pup. When I rescued him from the streets, he was dragging a big, thick chain and had scar marks all over his head. He was a fighting dog. So I didn't want to risk that. But it was funny is after all of this stuff that has happened to me, lost my, part of my family and stuff, I got stuck with the cat. And it wasn't my cat. In fact, I told everybody, do not buy this cat. Don't buy a cat because it's a lot of responsibility. And it's funny, I got stuck with this cat, but this cat has become my buddy, my pal, my little friend. And sometimes you got a friend that's there all the time, but it's hard to remember that he's there. It's hard to, keep contact. And we find companionship in our pets sometimes, and that is love. Those little pets love you back unconditionally. I hate the story, but I saw this guy beating a dog, and the poor dog tucked its tail and still followed the master. Even though the master beat it, that dog had unconditional love and still followed the master. And it's that unconditional love that some animals have that they could teach some humans, some lessons. And I think it's kind of cool. We got a new little member of our family, but it's just strange how you couldn't buy a goldfish unless you got a 50-gallon tank. And yet in there they have, bigger fish in smaller tanks. So we rescued a little guy from the mean old pet store, and now he's got a cool little setup here at our home, and he's already bringing love and joy that makes my son's heart light up. When I see that happen, it makes my heart light up. And when my heart lights up, good things happen. Okay? So thankful to have you guys here. I have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this channel, and I have been through a lot of subscribers. I have, 4,000 subs, but 300 views. That tells you how many people I've chewed up, spitting out, gone through. And if you're still here at this channel and you're still watching this, you are a spiritual warrior because of the stuff I am showing you most people couldn't handle. Images like this would shake some people, that make them have a heart attack. For us, it's comforting. It's good to know you got a friend on your side. They call me Big Buddy. Big Buddy. I didn't make up that nickname. All my friends did. Everybody I've ever known, even complete strangers in another town, will come up to me and go, "Hey, Big Buddy." Well, how did you know that? Well, just because you are. Yeah, well, I am. I'm your big buddy. Or I'm also your sovereign lord. It should be good. It should feel good to have a good guy as your father, not the bad guy. And you see a lot of bad guys running around on this planet. Little do they know what's in store for them. I mean, talk about top secret clearance. You know how everybody's got top secret? Oh, this is classified. You can't know this knowledge. You're not special enough to know this. You know why stuff's classified? Because it's criminal. They're hiding their criminal activity. Oh, just stamp classified on it. Now nobody can see the evidence of our criminal activity. Here's your top secret right here. This is the ultimate secret right here. It's not UFOs. It's not government conspiracies. The top secret of the whole world, the most classified thing, is you guys in this channel. So how's that? Everybody's looking at the military, Navy SEALs and all these guys, all these ops and special Delta forces have been giving us info on what's going to happen. Give me a break. They don't know what's going to happen. Only I know what's going to happen. And I know that you guys have nothing to fear. You are my friends and my family. It's the rest of the world that's going to have some spiritual work to do. That's why we're doing ours early right now. So we'll be able to help these people when they lose heart. You got to be a beacon out there, shining. Save as many as you can before the race is over. I mean, well, you can't save them, but you can at least steer them in the right direction by being an example. And you don't have to be a perfect example like Jesus, but practicing forgiveness, acceptance, using knowledge properly and having wisdom, appreciating what's around you a lot more, living more thoroughly and richer and fuller, knowing each day counts so much now, right? So we approach the finish line. Each day counts so much. How are you guys racking up points or what? Are you guys doing? Are you walking your spiritual walk and reflecting the best you can to others what you've been taught to try to draw more people in? Because it's their decision. We can put the evidence out there, give them hope and testimony. It's their decision, and I know that when they see it in you, they will want what you have, and that's when you'll be able to tell them, "Hey, you're not going to believe this, but I have this because of this." All right. So, yes, Gabe, that's the whole thing. There are All right, let's talk about this, Gabe. There are so many lies out there, it's hard to believe anything. Ta-da, right in a nutshell. That's the reason for Jesus. He is the only one you can trust. You can't trust the media. You can't trust your politicians. You can't trust your police. You can't even trust your family. You can't trust each other. You can't even trust yourself, can you? Look deep inside. Can you trust yourself? Maybe you can more now that you've been empowered. Okay? You can trust me. I am the truth, the way, and the life. I have the truth because I am the truth. I'm trying to teach you the way so you can live in peace with forgiveness in your heart. And when you have that, you live fuller, richer, happier lives. And so does everybody else around you. And I was telling you last night that that positivity, that love can be infectious. Yeah, like a disease, like an infection, like an outbreak. Yeah, we have an outbreak of love. Everybody is forgiving each other, and they're behaving properly. There wouldn't we wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't need wars. We wouldn't need weapons when you treat your enemy like your friend. You don't need to build weapons to go kill them. How much of our time, energy, money has gone? Trillions go to the Defense Department, who gives billions to other countries, who our veterans are homeless on the street. The blood, sweat, and tears are getting flushed down the toilet, going to other countries for weapons and war, for hatred and bigotry. When if you just listened and loved each other, we wouldn't need to have this. We could have borders and everybody in their own countries with their own customs. And each year we go to a different country and we celebrate their customs. Celebrating people's diversity, not pointing it out and going, oh, you need to be accepting of it. No. Learning about other cultures. We need to have those other cultures with their rich histories. I mean, for instance, when you guys go to Mexico, there is a different vibe down there. They have the rich Mexican history, their language, their culture, the way they talk, the way they treat each other, that is rich in character and cannot be lost. The moment you start just diffusing it with a bunch of other countries and losing your history and your culture, there's nothing left to celebrate. Instead of invading countries, we should invade them as like a tourist thing where, hey, we're here to celebrate your holiday, your traditions, and accept your cultures and be brothers instead of enemies. Do you see how retarded this world is? And I'm going to use that term because it is. It is retarded. This whole society has an IQ of what, 10? We watch stuff that is programming at a second, third grade level. Our vice president can't even, it's like teaching a kindergarten class. And they can't even grasp those concepts. You guys would make better leaders than they would. Yeah, Americans, yeah. There was the home of the free and land of the brave. We need to get that courage back. And a lot of egotism, a lot of vibrato coming out of our supposed protectors, our public servants, our military. They're more gung-ho to do violence on the citizenry when their real job is to be protecting us from the politicians, the criminals. See, Governments have been the problem throughout history. They have killed more people through wars and everything else. Governments, tyrannical governments. And the part of tyrannical governments is we didn't want that. We wanted to be free from tyranny, from having some foot on your boot on your neck. And now we have this case where tyranny is hopping on board again, and there's no courage to do anything about it. Well, it's a good thing we got a good guy coming to the rescue to save the day, because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Okay? That's why you guys can rejoice while they start shaking in their boots, because that's what is going to happen. Okay? And you guys have nothing to fear. You're under the protection of my wing. It's everybody else who's not figuring it out. And the reason why I do these readings, I'm trying to give you guys the tools that you're going to be needing here in the future, here real soon. Oh, I love all you guys. So thank you, Gabe. Surfer Girl. Who's this? Southern Grace. Hi, welcome. Okay, yeah, I saw you in the comment section before. All right, yeah, I remember you. Sorry, it's been a long... Oh, I can't even count how many hours now. Oh, cool. You guys are all having a good little conversation in there. Yeah, good. All right. That's why we're here, is fellowship, too. That's what this chat room's all about, too. For some of you, don't be... what's the term I'm looking for? Don't be standoffish. Don't be afraid. I don't bite. All right? I'm your best friend. I feel a lot of people are afraid to voice their opinion or comment because I might judge them on the words, which is probably correct, because you guys should be careful what you're typing in chat rooms. In this chat room, it's different. You can type whatever you want in this chat room, but when you're in somebody else's channel, you got to be thinking what you're saying, because those are just like spoken words. When you're typing them out, each letter that you type is intentional, isn't it? So, like, I'll enter a chat room and say, bless everyone here today. You know, you see other people cutting people down. Guess what? Those are just like spoken words. So you need to be careful in your chat rooms. But here, you could ask any question. You could say any comment, because I'm very hard to offend. I know everything about you already. And it's just fun to see you guys type out what you're thinking. Today at the pet store today too, this lady had already seen my son in there going for the same fish, right? And when I come in a couple hours later and point out the very same fish, she puts her hands on her hips. And this is the part that is hard, okay? Hearing people's thoughts is no fun, all right? You do not want to have telepathy. You do not want to hear what people are truly thinking. It's a good thing we have that we can't hear each other's thoughts. I also like to read body language as well. In fact, I put body language in there so I can tell right through your body language. See, your body language speaks more than your tongue does. You could say, oh, I'm fine, and cross your arms. You're not fine. Nope, you are not fine. Anyways, this gal, she sees me point out the same fish, and she puts her hands on her hips, and she thinks to me, oh, I know what's going on here. But without saying it, I heard it loud and clear. So I didn't say anything back, but I looked back in response. I responded with body language to her body language. And I raised my eyebrow and looked at her right in her eye. And she swallowed really hard because she had that thought, and I responded to it with my body language, and that blew her away. That blew her away, that I responded to her thought, and she didn't say it. It was a thought, but her body language, and when she thought it, I heard it clear as bell. I saw it, heard it, everything. But then I waited, and I looked back at her. Like I said, I raised one eyebrow. When I do that to people, sometimes it'll give them a heart attack. I got looks to kill sometimes. All right, that's how ugly I am. So I gave the look the kill, and she swallowed hard. And oh yeah, I can help you with that, no problem. Yep. So remember, you guys, I love you. I miss you. We're all going to be together here someday. Someday soon. All right. So that's it. I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back. Can't you tell? Should be able to tell by my character. All right. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.